If you were following us earlier in the evening, we had been talking about the fact, as part of this story, that County Executive Mark Poloncarz is at Reagan International Airport. He tweeted out a short time ago that he was there, that he saw the emergency response. He confirmed that there was a full ground stop there at Reagan International. He joins us now live on the phone. Mark, can you hear us?
I can hear you, David.
Mark, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. First, tell us a little bit about what brings you to Reagan and what you're seeing there and what you saw at around 9 o'clock tonight.
Well, I arrived in Washington yesterday for meetings associated with the National Association of Counties Disaster Reform Task Force, which was yesterday and today, including meetings on Capitol Hill. Our meetings ended, and I was flying back on the 10:20 flight, which is a standard if you come into, or if you're flying from D.C. to Buffalo, if you're coming back home. So I was at the airport, and all of a sudden there was an announcement of a full ground stop, which we were kind of a little surprised about. And then you could see in the section of Terminal 2, which is the American Airlines terminal, and I was in the E portion of it, all these emergency vehicles start heading towards the Potomac River. And at that point, we realized something bad had happened. I immediately jumped onto Twitter X and just typed in Reagan National, and then we started to see reports from on Twitter and other social media sources that a small plane had crashed into the Potomac. And within a very short period thereafter, it with the immensity of the tragedy, became apparent, because now we started to realize that this was an actual regional jet similar to the one that I'd be flying back to Buffalo on, that crashed in midair with another aircraft, which turned out, of course, to be the helicopter. And shortly thereafter, we then started to see the video that has now been shown of the actual midair collision. So from when they announced the ground stop to when we really realized that something extremely bad had happened, was probably no more than 15, 20 minutes. And you could see a mass amount of emergency vehicles that not only came from the airport, but were coming from the highway to get into the airport and then to the scene. Just a horrible situation. And as we all know, having lived through Flight 3407, it's just a very sad situation. And my heart goes out to the family members of those who were lost.
Realizing you were about to get on a plane of similar size, that's got to be very scary from that airport. Where are you now, County Executive? I have to assume they are not going to, at any point soon, allow planes to take off from Reagan. Are you still at the airport? What have you been told about that ground stop?
No, I have left the airport. I'm actually at a hotel nearby. I rebooked my flight to tomorrow afternoon. They may fly out tomorrow. I'm not exactly certain. If they don't fly out, I will probably end up trying to rebook out of a different airport. But it became quite apparent that the flights were not coming in, and that they were directing flights that had planned to land at Reagan National to other airports. So even if there was a plane and a crew there, everyone realized that the flights were not going out. They started to be delayed. And at that point, the delays were deep into the night, and then I rebooked, and very shortly thereafterwards, they announced pretty much that every flight had been canceled for the rest of the evening.
Okay. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz. Mark, thank you again for joining us this evening, especially given the circumstances. Best of luck in your travels over the next day or so. And like you, we are glad that you were not on that regional flight. But hopefully, mentally, you can get through this as well and get home safe to Erie County. We appreciate it, Mark.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.